Okay, well, so today's agenda, being very precise, is to deal with that what is an error, firstly, how to deal with error, how to understand error, and once we know, okay, this particular is the type of error or the theory behind it. So then we need to go back to the file and to locate the error with the help of traceback. So what is traceback? That we'll be going to discuss about. Okay, and then once we have located the error, our next task is to resolve that part so that the program will become a completely error-free program simply. Okay, now I just have a PPT with which you will be going to follow along. So this topic will be on error understanding and troubleshooting, and what all we'll be going to cover about in this particular time is what I have just discussed to you, right? So one more thing, putting up the context for this particular stuff, this entire part will be regarding Python language. So many of you, or I guess almost all of you, are working either on machine learning, deep learning, IoT, data science, or have worked with Pygame or Django or any other thing which is backed by Python. So you are, when it comes to language, you are actually using Python as your core language, and hopefully many of you are using Python as your primary language as well. Coming up to me, I particularly use Python as my primary language, and that's it. Yeah, so major of my task being solved by Python itself. And if the time allows, and if the things are not comfortable with Python, and if I have ample of time to do the R&D and all of that on that particular project, so I choose to go back to the core of C or C++ to get the thing resolved. But if there is any chance, if there is 1% chance that this particular thing is possible with Python, I particularly stick with this language. Now what basically is going to happen is all the doubt, I have got some doubts on WhatsApp as well regarding you have sent me your screenshot, so that also I'll be going to discuss about, and I have mentioned it into this particular PPT. So we'll be going to work on some of the doubts regarding Python, errors regarding Python, not precisely doubt, precisely saying error regarding Python, how to understand that, how to locate that, and how to resolve those errors. Right. So before we move on, I would be talking about, firstly, this is the agenda that we'll be talking about what are the different types of error. Firstly, we need to know about different types of error. Okay, what are the possible errors in Python? Second thing we need to know about is how to understand the particular error. And this will be going to do with traceback, and just in next couple of minutes I will be talking about traceback. What is traceback? Third thing we'll be going to talk about is that how to locate the error in the files and the modules. So which particular line have caused the the error shown into that traceback, and then at last you have the information that what is the error, and you have the information where is the error. So your task is to resolve that. So we'll be going to talk about that how to resolve a particular error. Okay. So, but it will not be going to it will not be going to happen turn by turn. What we'll be going to do is we'll be firstly talking about various types of error. So once we'll be going to discuss about types, like okay, this is type A, B, C, and D. So within type A, we will understand that, we will locate that, and we will resolve that. So this way basically we'll be going to work on. So for that, I need to explain you something, that what is this particular traceback stuff. Wait. So traceback is nothing but the kind of output Python interpreter gives when the interpreter fails to produce any sort of result. So if you are getting any kind of output which denotes the failure of Python interpreter, then this particular interpreter will be returning you a kind of traceback. And to show you, I would be just opening my terminal. Okay, I will be writing Python 3 to get into the shell, and I would be writing import time, which is a module. So instead of time, I would be saying time, double E, time me. Okay, intentionally I have raised some error. So let's see what it is. So this is giving something as a kind of traceback. So this traceback has all the things related to what the error is, where the error is, and all of that stuff. Although it's a single line program, so we know where the error is. But when it will be a multi-line, multi-file, or multi-folder oriented program, so it will be difficult for us to locate the error and to work on that. So that thing we need to know from this particular traceback, that what this particular traceback is showing. So for that, I would be working on a file right here, errors.py. I'll be creating. Okay, so this is the file I would be working on. Let me just open that and let's write something on this. Okay, let's write something on this. What I want to write is, I want to write a basic program of, let's say, hello world. So I would be simply saying hello world. Okay, if I'll execute this particular program, see here, I hope all of you know that how to write a particular Python file and execute that. So we have got the output of hello world. What is hello world? If you are not comfortable with that, how to write a Python program and how to work on that and how to load the Python file and how to install the Python, everything is available as in the form of course or on the web. I would suggest you that go to the internet, search for this and then visit this particular course again on the internet in the form of videos. Okay, so if you don't know that how to install the Python, how to get this particular output, then you should need a bit more of grounding, and then after that you can work on this particular errors location and error troubleshooting stuff. Now this is perfectly working program, but what if I'll add one more extra bracket right here? Okay, see, it's giving me a kind of traceback, something 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 and then syntax error, invalid syntax and so on. Now let's see how do we need to locate the error. This is what I want to discuss first. I have a very short PPT. I would be sticking to this just 3 or 4 slides. So I want to firstly get into that what is traceback. Traceback is a kind of output which Python interpreter will give you when it fails to execute the program from start to end and it is encountering any kind of error into the code. Okay, that could be the reason that the interpreter have actually failed. Otherwise, if you are writing everything true, okay, suppose I want to add something, I want to write something like print sum of 5 plus 3 is 5 multiply 3. Okay, so this will give me sum of 5 plus 3 is 15. The thing is, there is no error into this particular program, although we can see that sum of 5 plus 3 is not 15, but the Python interpreter is actually executing that. The reason is because it is syntactically completely true. There is no problem in the execution of this string sum of 5 plus 3 or any problem of in the execution of 5 multiply 3 is even not there. The problem would have occurred if instead of 5 multiply 3 I would have said some other symbol. I don't know what the symbol is all about. Let's say something like this. Okay, so when I'll execute that, it'll say okay, something wrong. So as far as you are using valid tokens into any programming language, it's working, it will be working fine. Okay, so let's come to this particular part. This is what the traceback was. I have shown you that this particular thing, it is present in every language, whether it be C++ or C or Java or anything, but they are known with actually different names. So stack trace, traceback, and different names are actually there for this particular stuff. So Python, in the Python community, people have named it traceback. Coming up to how to locate a particular error. So I have a good image to showcase, and this image basically explains everything regarding how you locate an error from the given traceback. It involves two things: how to locate and how to understand. So this is the kind of traceback you got. So traceback, most recent call last, something like this when I have executed it earlier. Okay, I just coming back to that part, import timey. Okay, so traceback, most recent call last, then file. You can see right here are some file, some particular file name, line number, in module. It's written module. So every square, every rectangle, everything contained in the rectangle is something which can be varying for your particular program, which definitely vary for your particular program. So I have a file, I have a line number, and I have a place container. So in this case it is module. So see, I have a file, okay, this errors.py, line in some container which is module. Then I have a code written which is this import timey, timee, and that's it. So it's a kind of nested stuff when you are working on multiple file, but this is what it is actually giving you, right? So you have the code written right here. Then at the last you have a kind of error. So this is what a traceback look like, a yellow color squares, rectangle stuff. Then you have the type of error which is name error right here, but into our case it is module not found error. Then you have a colon, and then then this particular image is saying name sum on is not defined, SOMEON is not defined because it was supposed to be sum1, and right here it's no module named timey. Now what this information is actually saying us, the thing right here, this is the type of error which we'll be going to talk about, and how to resolve this error is completely depending on this type. So depending on the type you will be resolving the error, that what particular type of the error it is. Okay, so this is the type of error which is module not found. Okay, and I have a lot of error to discuss about which are mentioned right here. So module error is this one, you can see column number 3, row number 1, and we'll be talking about lot many of errors, like I guess there are 4 and 4 and 5, so 13 errors we'll be going to talk about. So these are some of the most frequent or most commonly occurring error into Python world as far as my experience is concerned. Then a basic line for that particular error. So, justifying description. No module named timey. This is how you can understand the error. Just two things are enough to understand this particular stuff, that there is some problem in your module and there is no module named timey. Before we move on to type of errors, before we understand that how to resolve the errors and how to do all that stuff, what are the different types, I also want to discuss about that how to locate the error. So just start, people have different approaches. Some of the people would say, okay, we will be starting from top to down. Some of the people would say, okay, no, we'll be starting from bottom to up. I would be basically going to start from the top. So right here, there is only one particular pair, one file and one syntax. But there would be case when you will be having something like this, file 1, syntax 1, and a lot of files and syntax, and then again right here, file n, syntax n. So you can have some 10 files nested to each other and then the syntax. So what this particular structure is saying, that there is a file with the name of errors.py. Okay, because this is the file we are calling, so obviously if there would be some error into entire of our program, the error would be caused because of this particular file only, some line into this particular file. Now which line it is having the error? Line 5. So let's see line 5. This is line number 5. Okay, so line number 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's written on the left of this import as well. See this. Okay, line number 5 in module. So module means that on the ground, on the root, if you would have a function and inside that function you are causing some error. So I have an a function right here, I'm calling import timey. Okay, let's see, let's work on this particular stuff again. Okay, and I'm calling this a function. So you have a file, you can see that there are now two things. So you need to firstly go to the file errors.py, line number 10 in the module. What is line number 10? Line number 10 is the calling of a function. That means the problem exists in this particular function. Now this is the line. Okay, then it took you to another, now earlier it was in module, now it is inside a, where a means the function. So it is inside a function, line number 8, and the error is in this line, import timey. Okay, so this is line number 8, import timey, and just forgive me if I am pronouncing it wrong, but whatever it is. And then what is the type of error? This is a module not found error with no module named timey. Now you would be thinking of, okay, then what is the need of this much theory in order to just simply locate a kind of error? But no, actually when you will be working on a kind of framework, so those who are following Django framework right here can actually relate with this, that there are around 15 plus files into this, And when you grow with your project, you will be having some more than 10 HTMLs, more than 2 to 3 URLs of a single project itself, I'm saying. Okay, so within a single, rather single app. So inside a single app, you would be having multiple URLs. A views.py would be there. You will be creating some files for your own, like managers.py, db.py. There would be models.py and different files actually. Now, if there would be one particular error and you don't know how to read the error, it will create a lot of trouble for you. So you need to firstly locate the given file, and that particular stuff will not only work for you. So then you need to locate the given function, because a file could be of 1000 or more lines. You need to locate the given function, and once you locate the function, then you need to locate the error into this by understanding that what particular type of error that is. Okay, so let me show you this particular task. I don't know how many of you are aware of Django or so. What I'll be doing is I'll be going to create a basic Django project right here, and then I'll be intentionally creating an error into this. So I'll be saying that Django admin. If you don't know Django, just don't. I got a okay. Anyways, if you don't know Django, just ignore this as of now. But what we'll be going to discuss about is that how to work on resolving one particular type of error. So at the end you'll be getting any files, all the files only. So Django admin start project, name of the project, suppose project name. Okay, then I would be going to cd project name, Django admin start app name. Fine, so we have some project name and inside that an app name. I would be going to make the changes required in order to get it working. Just don't be confused if you don't know Django. So it's not be going to make any change. I would be taking an example of Django to work on that. Later on, I'll be taking the example of different modules as well. So I have actually intentionally created an error. Those who know Django would be knowing it. That what was the error I have created. Okay, so I have made required changes to get a hello world on the track. Okay, I hope I'm on call. Am I clearly audible to all of you? Is my audio going clear to all of you? Yeah, great. So I have just created a bit of Django snippet, and then I would be just doing some traditional stuff with Django just to run the server. So I would be saying that Python 3 manage.py run server. Okay, it is having around 3 to 4 errors which I have created intentionally. Now see, let's see first task. So we have big traceback. Okay, and if you don't know that how to work on traceback, you will be looking like, okay, what is this, I don't know what's wrong. Like the error is more than the line of error is more than actually what I have written. I have written not more, I have changed not more than 10 lines, and you can see that there are more than 20 lines into the errors. Now what I'll be doing is I'll be just looking at this particular traceback. Okay, I'll be locating to the last that what is the error, It's a name error. Okay, name a underscore name is not defined, and where it is not defined, path, this inverted comma open close include a name dot url, and where it is project name desktop project name urls dot py, line number 21. So let's open that. Desktop project name, I would be opening this entire into VS Code. Okay, so desktop project name, inside this the project name actually is open now, this project name, and inside that urls.py, and line number 21 this. So this line number 21 is saying that what is the error, a name is not defined. Okay, so this is my a name. Now this is, if you know Django, you would be knowing that this is something which you need not to put right there without strings, you need to put this inside string. So those who know Django would be getting it. So what Django has given us is the framework to work on, but what traceback is giving us, pointing out that what you are looking at. Now the error have actually changed. It's saying module not found error, no module named a name.url. So what is our module name? A name.urls. So I need to put urls instead of URL. Okay, done. Now it's not getting changed, just close it, run that again. Now there is another error at home hash desktop pname a name, and inside that views.py. So let's open views.py, this one, and the error is at line number 4. Line number 4 is this. Okay, so what is the error? It is right here, some syntax error. You know that after function you need to put a colon, so we have placed a colon. Now it's working fine, but again there is a kind of error you will see. So I have placed the colon, and let's run this particular local host on my system. So it's saying name HTTP response is not defined. This is what the error is coming up. You can see that on your server as well. That name error, HTTP response is not defined. Where? In views.py line number 5. This is the case. Views.py line number 5. So this thing is actually don't come pre-imported. We need to import that. So if you are knowing the technology, if you are knowing the framework, you can easily locate the error. The error would come. That's so obvious. The error would come. Now you can see the web page is working with a high right here in just 5 minutes of debugging. So what I want to demonstrate with this particular stuff is that the error will definitely be there. What you need to learn is how to read the given error. If you are able to read the error, if you are able to locate the error, if you are able to resolve the error, then you can actually work on a different scale of programming. You need not to worry about that. Okay, my program is getting the errors, my software is not working, my logic is not working, everything I have written is so damn correct. Obviously there would be scenario when you will miss commas, when you will miss full stops, when you will miss dots. So that moment of time you need to know how to read the given traceback. Start with traceback, locate the error, and then understand the error and then work on that. Okay, let's take an example for the machine learning people as well. I would be closing this Django part. Coming back right here, I would be making something from sklearn dot linear model import linear regression. So those who are from machine learning would be getting it so easily. X is equals to 1 2 whatever, like 2 7 9 8, that's it. Y is equals to 2 7 99, that's it. Okay, one more, 22. Sk is equals to scikit-learn. Yeah, sklearn is scikit-learn, exactly. Okay, so what I'm saying next is model is equals to, just don't worry about this part. If you are not getting comfortability with this, just don't worry about that. I'm not teaching you how to implement machine learning, I'm just taking that how to resolve the error. And that's it. Just let's print model dot predict for 20 Let's run this file. Okay, it's taking time, and then it is giving module not found error. No module named from sklearn no module named sklearn.linear model. Actually, the module name is sklearn.linear underscore model. So this located us that this is the error, module not found. This is the basic description for that, and line number 1 of errors.py. This is how you can locate that. Okay, so I have got the error. Now let's run that again. So now you can see the module is working fine. You are getting the output of 2057 or so, right? This is how you can simply locate the given error if you know how to read the traceback, how to locate the error from traceback, and how to resolve that. That's so simple. But how did you get to know that it was not linear model, it was linear underscore model? For that, you need to learn the entire framework which you are working on. You cannot just simply say, okay, if I can resolve the error, I can do anything into deep learning, I can do anything into machine learning. No. You need to learn machine learning, you need to work on machine learning. And then apart from that, you need to be very much comfortable in Python that whatever you are learning, you are getting a sense of resolving the errors or locating the error. If you have accidentally put that linear model, then you can just resolve it. But if you don't know that it is linear underscore model, then there is no other way to actually resolve this. You just need to go to Google, search for that, give a bit of study that what does that mean. So major error you will face is that there is something like import panda. Okay, I'll be commenting all other stuff. And there is something like import pandas. So let's import panda as of now. So it's saying no module name pandas. So then I installed panda into my system. It's getting downloaded, collecting something, and then it will be installed. Okay. Now what I'm saying is df is equals to panda. Okay, I'm saying import panda as pd. Okay, so pd dot data frame. This thing I guess you all know, right? Whether you are from machine learning, deep learning, Python or Django. I hope Django people would also be knowing that, I am expecting. So then I run that. Now you can see that no module named request. And where is the request? Import panda. Inside that it took you some side packages panda. Obviously this file you haven't created. That means this error you cannot resolve at all. What you can resolve is something you have done wrong into this. Okay, if I will remove this line, then even it is not working. So it's saying no module named request. Let's install request as well. Okay, done. So I have request as well. Now let's run that. Now again something like cannot import panda request. Something bad going on and on and on into the module. Now those who are a bit of data science people or machine learning people, they know that it is not actually panda, it is pandas. Pandas is something which I was looking out to work with the data frame. This is something with which you can never and never get rid of just learning how to resolve the error. You need to have enough of knowledge for the domain as well in order to resolve the error after locating it. Traceback can only and only let you to the particular line where the error is coming. But how to resolve that error, this is something which traceback cannot tell you. This is something for which you actually need to know the entire of the domain. Okay, so now we know the basics of how to basically locate the error, how to get the type of the error, and how to get the bit of description for this error. And now this, by this time I'm opening the doubt window for all of you. That just go ahead with your doubts. Let's see what are the different doubts we have faced till now, what we have done till now, into which you can ask that what are the ways to understand that traceback, what traceback wants to communicate to us. Obviously that traceback is not written in binaries, it is written in English. That means it is written for you. It is written for the person who is programming, not for the machine. So you need to know about that, how to read that traceback and what are the information available in that particular traceback. So any doubt into this till now? Anyone of you? Go ahead, anyone. No one, no doubt. So should I move on? Okay, at least say some yes, no, anything if I'm audible at least. Okay, am I audible to anyone of you? Yeah. So any doubt from your side till this point, that how to particularly read the given error? I'll repeat the brief, just something in the brief right here. So we have the file name, what traceback is giving us, that what particular is the error, okay, the type of the error which we'll be going to discuss about next, and the basic description for that. And then what else it is giving? It is giving us enough of the path to locate that error, that where that error is actually stored. So it is giving you from where you started, then how that particular file. So suppose you are calling file A, which in turn is calling file B, and which at the other end is calling file C. So the error is in file C, but that error must have caused if you have called that file. If you would remove that line from file A, which is calling file C, then the error will not come. So it is taking your, it will take you from file A, then to B, then to C. Alright, this is how traceback, what sort of traceback like can give you. I hope it is very clear to all of you. Alright, so moving ahead, that what are the different types of error. So now we talked about that how to locate the error in the files and modules. So what do we need to see? We need to start from the top given file. That okay, this is the file. Into this there is something in the module. Now it took us to a function, and this is the function, and this is the error. It took us again to a file where we need to resolve the error, and then we need to come back. This is how you need to locate the error. How to resolve that? Few of the things I'll be going to tell you accordingly to the type of error, and few rest of the thing you basically need to understand with the domain itself. So another thing is that what are the various types of error, and they are mentioned right here. So one of the error is syntax error. What is that syntax error all about? Syntax error is something when you miss something with your bracket, opening, closing. Suppose you have opened 4 brackets and you have closed 3 brackets only, something like that. When you have missed something with inverted commas, when you have missed to just close your multi-line comment, all of these things will fall under syntax error. I have shown you a syntax error earlier as well. I hope it will be visible. See, so what was the syntax error into this line? This thing is not recognizable. I have done that intentionally. What was the syntax error into this time? That there is a bracket, extra closing bracket, which was not supposed to be there. So this is what syntax error is. So it gave you a file, line, the code, and then type of the error, a basic description of the error, and the pointer where that error is. Now this pointer can even misguide you some or the other time. It can point you to some other location, but the error, the modification need to be required at some other place. So don't just rely on this pointer, work on the entire of the traceback. Next type of error is indentation error. So what sort of indentation error you can face is, what is indentation? Indentation is basically used when you are defining a body. So if I'm saying for I in range 10, and obviously it need to have a body, so I'll be saying print I, print done, print hello. That's it. Okay, so after all the I done, let's shorten it down to 3. Okay, so let's run that. It's saying that when it is done, so unexpected indentation, unexpected indent. This is an indentation error you have got. Just read the type of error. Indentation error. What is the error all about? That this indentation was not at all expected, because this above line print I is not a block, it's a simple line. When I take care of that indentation, it will be perfectly fine. Now this will also happen when you are actually just a bit more uncalibrated, when you are working on 4 spaces at one place and 3 spaces at another place. You need to be very precise with one format throughout your entire block, otherwise it will raise you the unexpected indentation error. Right. Another type of error is name error. So what is name error? Name error will occur when you have actually used something which you have never defined. So something like that sum on, which I had shown you in that location, this image. See, this is a name error because you have called something like SOMEON, but I hope you have defined SOMEONE. In order to show you that, just see, I would be commenting this all. Okay, so I have a string with the name of S, welcome. Okay, and what I am calling is S2. So it is giving us name error, that name S2 is not defined, and where it is not defined, line number 21, errors.py. So line number 21 right here, errors.py, this S2 is written which has no meaning. What is the possible reason of this name error? One of the reason is, just like we saw that into that Django part, that we need to put something in the string, but we are putting that without string. This is one of the reason. Another reason is that you have committed some typing mistake, some typo you have committed while writing the name of the variable. Because when you will be working with entire of the frameworks, you will find that the variable name would be 20 characters long or so. So that time you might commit some typing errors. So that could be the reason for this name error, or else you have called something which you forget to define at that moment of time, and you have defined that later. So what you need to check is, when you see this sort of error, firstly check your spelling, then check whether you have defined that properly before that line or not. Okay, then you can work on, then you can basically solve this name error part. Another error is type error. So type error, as the name suggests, it is more on the type of the data. So suppose I have a data something like this, welcome, I'll rechange it to S, okay, and I want to add 33 into this. If I'll do this, it will save me a type error that integer and string are not supported by plus, so must be string, not integer. Okay, so this type error, that this should be string only, not integer. That means this S and 33 are not type compatible, whereas if this S would be 50, now they are type compatible, it will give us 83. Alright, so type error is something which talks about the different unsupported data type placed together for a given operation. So how can we solve that? We need to check that whether the given data type are in supported format or not. Like this S, instead of plus, if I would have given 33, it would be working. Like welcome, 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 welcome. So for 33 times. Because string multiply integer is a valid operation. String plus integer is not a valid operation. So this talks more about the operators and the limitation over those operators. Right. These are the most frequent error you will get. So syntax error is something which talks about that you have missed a given bracket, or you have placed an extra bracket, or semicolon, end of file, triple inverted commas or so. Indentation error, again about the indentation, whether you have missed that or you have placed extra indentation. Name error is about the variables that you are calling a variable which you haven't defined yet. Then there is something like type error. So type error will come when you have actually passed two unsupported operands for a given operator, and at the last there is zero division. So zero division is nothing but just the same thing, that 5 divided by 0 is not 5 and is not 0, it is infinity. So if I'll divide 50 by 0, it is not a valid stuff to do. Okay, so this error is zero division error. This you can face in your calculator. If you'll be making a calculator, asking the value from user one from user for number 1 and number 2 an operator, and the operator given by the user is divide and the operand 2 is 0, you can actually get this sort of error. So you need to know that what is the error telling you about this. Okay, any doubt into these 5 errors in the starting, the most common errors we talked about? Any doubt into all of that? Anyone having any doubt into this? No one? Alright, so let's move on to this particular part again, to the data error. Or let's do one thing, let's wait for 10 to 15 minutes. I want all of you to go ahead, create some errors intentionally, look at your traceback and solve those errors, resolve those errors by your own. And those like the people who have sent me your errors on the WhatsApp, that this you need to discuss, this you need to discuss, just go and try for that once. If that again will not be resolved as of now, then we'll be going to discuss about that. Okay, so those who have sent me the error screenshots, just go ahead and try to resolve that error, and others try to create the error intentionally and then resolve it. So I'll wait for the time, I'll be waiting for 15 minutes and then we'll be moving ahead with the next part. And meanwhile, if you'll be having any doubt, you can ask me simply. I hope you are doing it, you're following it along, and in a while we'll be moving ahead with the next part. So is that done or should I wait? Write me something at least, like, is that done? Should I move on or should I wait for the part? I'll be waiting for 5 answers, and out of those 5 answers, whichever would be having higher count, I'll be sticking to that. This error ran out of input. Can you share your screenshot of the code and of the that terminal? Okay, so Gurpreet, can you share your code and the screenshot of error? Okay, okay. And the code as well. So it seems like you're working on some framework. It's PyDroid. All right, so let's work on this. So what is the name of the file for this particular one? What is the name of the file if you can write it just like this here? No, no, the name of the file. Something.py it will be. And moreover, I want the screenshot of the bottom part as well. And the error is not mentioning about this. Maybe you're missing some bracket or so in the next part. Share the next 31st line and so as well. So the error is mentioning a lot about the internal files for this engine you are working on. Some sort of Python code compiler or Python mobile version you are working on, some PyDroid or so. So that is creating some error into it. Or moreover, let's just share your code first. All right, I got it. So what was line number 30? I need to check that. Okay, I'll be running this on my terminal. File not found, error 2, no such file or directory. And this is what the error it is showing me right here. So you also need to have the file stored at that particular place. So account file.pickle. This is something you have called on line 6. This one. So you need to have this file handy on your system at the same place, or else you need to give the path for this. Right. So if I'll uncomment this, comment this rather, uncomment, comment this. Yeah, pickle is a module which you need to install. Otherwise it is working fine. It's asking like enter 1 if you are a new user, enter 2. My name, PAN, password, account number. Name accounts is not defined. So accounts is it should be accounts. That's what I have made. Okay, so otherwise it is working fine. So see, you can check that name error, that name accounts is not defined because it was account that time. Yeah, it's not able to take input from the pickle file because it is not saved there. Or what you can do is you can either better try that on a system on a full-fledged official Python interpreter rather than working on any mobile based stuff or so. It will be great because these things will be having their own errors into it. But when you will be working on the official part, then a lot of errors would already be been resolved for you. No, pickle, if it is not installed, you need to install it separately. If the environment is already having it, then you can just ignore. Yeah, and in your storage are at the same place. Calling of the pickle should be done at the end of the pickle file. What? Calling of the pickle should be done at the end of saving the pickle file. You are calling it before executing the full file with pickle file creation. See, I had given one more program file which was actually creating the pickle file, or else you can create that normally right here and just push a dictionary into it, right? So what that program was doing, it was creating a dictionary and dumping that into pickle file, a blank dictionary. And then after that we are calling that dictionary stored the file which has stored the dictionary, and then worked on this part. That file need to be there anyhow. Either you have created it or you have transferred that from one system to another. Well, I hope it will be resolved. Then let's move on to the next part. Just closing this. So next is something like value error. Now what is value error? When it is highly confusing with the name error or the type error, but it is actually not the same. What value error will be giving you? It will be caused when you say something like this. I'll just close this. Okay, so I have taken an int of 20. It will be printed. Sorry. Okay, so 20 is printing. But instead of 20, if I would have given the string of 20, that even would be printed, right? But if I would give here something like cult skills, so it gave me a value error that invalid literal for int function with base 10. That means the function you are calling was expecting an alphanumeric or simply numeric string, not an alphabetical string. So it was expecting a string for which the isNum attribute is true. So value error will occur when the data type of your function which it was expecting is not same as what you are giving. So there is a function like int into which it was expecting either an integer or an integer oriented string. But right now what you are giving is a character oriented string whose ASCII code has nothing to do with numbers, right? So this is how you can resolve the value error. Locate that and check with your function that what your function is supposed to take as input and what you are giving as the input to the function. If they are both not same, just try to work on that. One of them must be wrong and just try to resolve that particular stuff. Moving ahead, there is another thing like index error. I don't think so I need to repeat that. Index error is just the same error which you will get in C++ or in Java, index out of range. You have a list which was array in the case of C++ or Java of 5 elements. So your possible indexes are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you'll call index 20, it will raise index out of range error or index out of bounds, something like this. I'll show you. So I have a list. I hope you all know what is a list. 20, 10, 20, 30, 50. So I am calling index number 7 here. Obviously there is no index 7 here. So it will not give me the output, rather than it will give me a traceback. Index error list index out of range. This is what index error will be giving you. Now how to resolve this index error? Check that your given index should be lesser than length of x. What is length of x? And I don't mean by less than equal to, I mean less than. Length of x in this case is 4. Okay, so 4. So your index should be less than 4. That means 0, 1, 2 or 3. So I could have 3, it will work. I could have 0 or 1 or 2, but when I will write 4 or above, it will not work. Index error. Right. This is how you can resolve index error. Next thing is key error. So what is key error? Key error is basically the same thing but for the case of dictionary, because dictionaries have keys instead of indices. So dictionary works with key mechanism. So whatever you call from a dictionary, that will only and only be called if that is a valid key you are passing. So if I have a key, I hope you know what is dictionary, I hope that. So I'll be making a dictionary. Let's convert this X into a dictionary, or let's put that on comment for now. Because I have a dictionary X which is having A, which stands for apple, B which stands for ball, and C which stands for cat. That's it. Now if I'll be saying print X A, it will give me apple. And when I'll say print X B, it will say key error, that this key does not exist and this A and D should be in strings. Okay. That key error D. For A it said apple, for D it is saying key error. What would have happened if I just remove the keys, just like I forgot that earlier? Let's not talk about this line. Now what is the type of error it is? It is a name error, that A is not defined because A was supposed to be in string. Okay. So this is what key error is, and how to resolve that. Check with your dictionary whether your dictionary has the given string or not, and if it is in the same format or not. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about this is unbound local error. What is this unbound local error? It is again a bit more of confusing with name error. Let me just show you a graphical representation if I'll get. So I'll just search for unbound. Because that graphics I cannot make right here. I just want to show you kind of graphics if it is visible. Something like this. That local variable form referenced before assignment. We haven't assigned anything into that, but we are referencing into it. Now this is something very close to name error, but this is not actually the name error. See, so it's saying that local variable k referenced before assignment. And what was my code all about? It has something like import unit test, some import, another import, data, hs, bw, u, and eps, and some or the other place I'm using k. See right here. I'm using it for k, data, confact, grid, I, and all of that. Okay, and where it is stored somewhat like this. So it was expecting a k to be there. Okay, and when this will be occurring? When you are actually calling an object stuff instead of variables. So name error will be caused with variables, whereas unbound local error will be caused with your objects. Let me show you. So I have something like print x, and there is no x actually. I forgot to uncomment, sorry. Okay, this name x is not defined. Even if I'll call something like, then again you are getting that this name x is not defined. And if I'll call something like x is equals to dictionary, just a blank dictionary, and I'll call something like this, then it is highly defined. A blank dictionary is even a defined dictionary. A blank list is also a defined list. So whenever you are getting like something unbound local error, you need to resolve it in the same way with which you are resolving your name error. So unbound local error will be something like you have called something, you have referenced something which is not actually assigned earlier, which the value to that particular thing is not assigned into earlier part. So I have shown you some part. It was difficult for me to write that code right here, but I have shown you the possible outcome with this. Okay, so I have called this k part that esti kstdi is equals to this, or else if I can get a simplified version of that with this one, x is equals to a. Again, this name error is not defined. The similar thing is right here. See, you have esti kstdi is equals to k, all of that stuff, a function type of thing. Even if I'll make it function, nothing much will be changed. The program will still raise me an error, right? So when you will get this unbound local error, basically you will be getting this sort of error when you will be working on the framework oriented programs like Django or TensorFlow or sklearn or some OpenCV or those sort of frameworks. But the entire methodology will remain same as of the name error. So the way you can say you can solve your name error, the same way you need to solve your unbound local error, right? So should we move on to the next part, the resource errors? I'll be waiting for all the discussions to be there. Anyone having any doubt, any discussion, anything to discuss right here? If you think like I have missed something, I have skipped something, we can discuss about that. You want me to repeat something, we can discuss about that. All right, so let's move on to the next column, the next type of errors. So what we have talked about by this time is common errors which you will get without any logical failures. The syntax error, like so all these errors are like accidental stuff. You have missed a bracket, you have missed an inverted comma, you have made an extra indentation, or you have missed an indentation, or you have called a variable which you haven't declared, or else you have passed on like a string and an integer for an invalid operation, or something like zero division. So accidental failures. Then we talked about data oriented errors, like which you will get on your list, on your arrays, on your dictionaries. The value thing, like for the function you are not passing whatever it is expecting, and then unbound local error. Then the next thing to talk about is module error, import error, file not found error, and OS error. Let's talk about OS error first. So OS error, again, I cannot show you right here. OS error is something when your OS actually denies to let the program be completed. So you will get the OS error because of some failures into the OS. The very easy way to resolve that is just skim through your content, skim through your code, and just shut the server or the program whichever you are running and rerun that. Simple. Run that again. OS error is highly likely to be resolved. What is the main reason of OS error? That suppose you are demanding 8 MB of RAM and that 8 MB of RAM is not freed up. You are demanding 3 cycles of your processor, but that 3 cycle is not scheduled and the wait list keep on increasing, and your OS denied to put that process on the list. If you know something about starvation in OS. So all of that operating system related concept. I can show you that error again on the internet part. Okay. So error 22 invalid argument, something like from the operating system. So datetime.datetime.from timestamp 0. So it has refused by the OS. So this entire stuff will be called as OS error. It's not much about changing the code or so. It's about that you have some problem with your OS going on. If you're training a deep learning neural network model and it is taking like 20 hours or 30 hours to train one epoch, and you are training for around 100 epochs, so at one moment of time your OS will actually fail to execute the program. And in order to save your hardware, in order to save the quality of your hardware, it will refuse the program to be executed any further. Moving on to file not found error. So file not found error is something which we have seen earlier as well, that when we are calling a file and that file is not existing. So if you are aware of file handling stuff, I can just demonstrate something right here. So with open, which file I want to read is this internet banking. Comma read binary, or simply read as file f, and then f dot read. That's it. Let's print that. Okay, I got this entire Python file on my command prompt, the internet banking part, as Gurpreet has given us. So accounts, all the commented code, import pickle, enter first number, enter second. This is the same program which we have executed actually earlier. Not getting it. Might be, it should be there, but no, I'm not getting it. But yeah, if you remember that we have executed this program earlier and it was looking something like this. So this is the program which was working like that. But this file not found error will be happening if I have made a spelling error. So I said internet2 underscore banking. Intentionally I have created a spelling error. Not internet banking. I want to call the errors.py. So it's saying that file not found error. No such file or directory internet2 underscore banking.py. What are the top reasons that you will get this sort of error? The reason would be that either you are not calling the file which you should be calling. There is some typing mistake or so, there is some spelling mistake or so. The other possible reason is that your file is not placed at the same place. Suppose I have this internet banking file in a folder of demo. Okay. I have the file here. Wait here, I need to put it inside. Right. And I'm calling it from errors.py. So obviously there is no internet banking.py file. Even if I'll rectify the spelling, but still there is no internet underscore banking.py file. Okay, so what we can do, we need to put the path. So what is the path? Demo slash. So after this, where this particular errors.py is working, after that demo and then slash, and now you can get your program working. Right. This is what file not found error means. Another of the thing is that this import error. And one more thing is module error. Again, confusing, but they mean a bit, they are basically a bit more different than what they look like. So module error will occur when you are actually giving something like, I'll show you. Just commenting this. I said import timey. Okay. What is the error right here? Saying module not found error. And when I said from sklearn dot linear model import logistic regression, it's saying import error. Reason, the first time what we were doing, we were importing a module as a whole. So there was an issue into the module itself, right? So the issue was in module, not the import. But right now what we are doing, we are importing something from sklearn, which is a module and which is highly available in my system. If I would have said it sklearn, then see what it is giving us, module not found. That, not, let's comment this timing. Module not found sklearn. When it has recognized the module, it is sklearn, and it know that there is something like linear model. The problem is in logistic regressions. Then it gave us import error that this cannot import name logistic regressions. It should be logistic regression, not regressions. Now it's working perfectly fine. I can print logistic regression right here. Okay, so that's a class of sklearn linear model stored in sklearn linear model dot underscore logistic dot logistic regression, something like this. Now I hope it is clear that what is module error and what is import error. Module error is more on the import module part, and import error is just about the class or function or package from that module, that you are not able to import that with whatsoever reason. Major issues, again, one of the issue is typing error, and another of the major big issue is that you haven't installed anything. Third issue, which is very less likely, is the permission issue, that you do not have permissions to import that part. But major of the issue would be that you haven't installed it. So if I'll write here something like import quandl, it'll say me that module not found. How can I resolve that? Pip install. I work with pip3, so I'll be writing pip3. Otherwise you can say pip install quandl. Okay, it'll install quandl, download, install, and then this program will be working. So quandl is a package for data fetching for different financial stuff. You can check that. It will be a great resource if you want to work on data science. Quandl. Okay, it will give you a lot of financial and geographical data, political data, majorly on finance part. Okay, now it's installed. Just let me get the line successfully installed. So that's the most powerful data less on quandl, something like that tagline. And you can search for the data. Suppose I search for Google shares. Okay, I got it, point in time security references, whatever it found like. for the Google shares. It doesn't have, I guess, Google. No, it have Google. The tickers, M ticker, company name, exchange, currency, filling type. I don't know much about stock exchange or so, but this is something like stock data, share market data. So published by some Zacks investment research. You can search for anything else like equities, currencies, options, index. I don't know what they are, but they are something important for data science or for stock market stuff, mutual funds, ETF. There is nothing related to that as far as the search says. Okay, and they have premium plans and free plans. So anyways, like this is what Condel can give you. And coming back to this, now I have Condel installed. When I'll run the same file again, it's working. So major big issue for module not found error is that you haven't installed it properly in your environment, or you have installed it but in another virtual environment and you are working on another virtual environment or something like this. That means the clear cut thing is that the environment in which you are working does not have the package, or there is some typing issue or something else. Now just take some time, read all the errors mentioned here and just try to fiddle out that any doubt into these errors you are having. I'll be happy to get some doubts if you are having any. Okay, no doubts. Right. So what we have discussed about is that what are the different type of error? Syntax error, indentation error, zero division error, import error, module error, file not found, name error, value error, index error, key error. Okay, and we have discussed about some 12, 13 different type of errors, right? Then we talked about that how to understand the errors. What is traceback? What traceback is giving us? Why it is written in English? And obviously, if it is written in English, that means it is written for you, not for the machine. Then how to locate the errors in the different files and modules, and how to resolve the errors accordingly. I want to show you the last example for this. I would be creating module of my own as of now. So coming to my terminal, I would be creating some api.py file which will be having all of my APIs only. Okay, I have made a function here of calculator. So two functions I'm making: add, okay, which will be taking us return x plus y, and intentionally I have removed this def subtract x comma y. Okay, this is what I have written right here. So def add, def subtract. Coming back to my errors.py, what I'll be going to write, commenting this, what I'll be going to write is import, or simply from API import add and subtract. And what else I'll be doing? I'll be passing on add function for 5, 6. Yeah, so it took us to that def add line and said that syntax error, invalid syntax right here. So reading it, it said that file error py errors.py line number 52. So this is line number 52 when we have imported. So it created problem in importing, right? And then what is the problem? It took us to from home hush desktop api.py line number 1. This is my API.py, this is my line number 1. I place the colon and it will be working now. Something wrong again? Yeah, indentation. So the name is indentation error. Line number 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Right, now I'm getting the output for that. Similar way I can call the subtract as well. Now see, this error has nothing to do with add function. If I'll do something like this, then it is giving me the syntax error right here. This error has nothing to do with add function, but when a program will be passed on, a particular module will be passed on, that entire of the syntactical changes would be checked, not logical. If I would have imported called a file right here with open something, then it will be ignored whether the file is there or not, but the syntax will be checked. I'll show you something like this with open. I'll copy. Okay, let's make it happen. There is no file like internet to banking. I'll be making it internet to banking here. So there is no file like this. When I will run that, it will be running. Even when I will import subtract, it will be running, because this with open file will only and only be called if I will call the subtract function. Now what is the error? That type error, subtract missing 2 required positional argument. This is a type error. What it was asking is to give me 2 values, 4 and 2. Now there is no such file not found, demo internet2banking.py not found. This error will only and only be invoked when I will call the function. Otherwise importing the function will not even make any sense. But if there would be any syntactic error, it will let us know. Suppose I miss a colon here. Let's see. It said that there is an invalid syntax right here. So syntactical error will be resolved. Logical errors will be only and only be invoked when you will call that given line of statement. Right. So we learnt about what are the different type of error. We understood the error. We located the error not just in a single file, into different files, into hierarchy, and then we resolved the error. We learnt about that how to resolve the error. What were the different errors all about? Syntax, indent, name, type, zero division, value, index, key, unbound local error, module, import not found, and file not found, and OS, and all of that. And one more thing we have talked about is that how to locate the error. So this was the mechanism to read the given traceback. I hope you have got the gist of that, what the things are going on when it comes to error debugging and error troubleshooting. So firstly, you need to have the error. You will be locating that, you will be understanding that what that error is all about, and then when you have all the information related to that error, you will simply resolve it. This is how the simple error debugging works. And I hope with this you will not be afraid of errors anymore. So whenever you will be getting the errors, just struggle with that and get it resolved. That's the only way that can lead you to be a good programmer. Looking at the error and bypassing it to people, okay, no, this is the screenshot, just solve it. This is the screenshot, just solve it. That will not work. I have included all the errors, even those which were there in the screenshots people have sent me. So just check if your screenshot is the idea of your screenshot is there with you or not. And any one of you is looking like, okay, my error haven't been discussed, you can let me know. I have discussed all the errors sent to me, and I have added few of them from my side as well. And then that's the way we have conducted this particular class. Right, so that was all I was about to discuss in this particular session. I would be expecting that you will become better into programming and better into error resolving, error debugging and all of that. Moreover, anything you want to discuss about this or about anything else in general regarding Python or so? Nothing. Okay. Fine. So I would be expecting all of you to go ahead and follow us on social media, and if you would have liked this session and various other you have been into, you can simply go for writing the review part and we'll be connected. So these are the links right there. It will be there in your groups as well. I'll be putting it up on the group sooner. Moreover, I'm expecting that this particular thing will help you out in some or the other way. Right, I'm expecting that you will not be just moving around the errors and finding out, okay, this is an error, I need to wait, someone will come and solve this. No, you need to solve it, and how you need to solve it, how it will be solved, that's what we have discussed. Right. So that's it from my side. Thank you. Thank you so much for being a part of this, being there on the time and making it a beautiful one. Thank you.